J Lane.
Right now, you're inside the J Lane podcast, and today we got a special guest all the way from Memphis, Tennessee. I actually met her at a networking event. It was an all black attire in Memphis, Tennessee. I think that was maybe like 6 months ago, and we stayed in contact. And she's going to tell a little about herself. She's going to tell about the product she has. She wrote a book and more great stuff. So we got Miss Patricia Maxwell.
All right, thank you, Johnny. It's so good to be here, and also it's just great to have another opportunity to talk about just overall health and overall well-being. I think that's an area that a lot of us just sort of take for granted. I can remember back in my early 20s how, excuse me, I thought I was just gonna live forever, wouldn't have any financial problems, no health problems, no, just everything would be all peachy creamy. And of course, when we start entering our 40s and 50s, we realize that that's not so. So, of course, we have to take whatever appropriate measures that we need to take to keep ourselves in alignment. And just your health is just the overall basics of who you are. It sort of dictates really everything else in your life. From my perspective, depending on your health, it will kind of determine what other things you can do, your ability and your capacity level to be physical and to live a healthy, abundant life is just so intertwined with your level of health. And reaching your optimum health is just one of the many things that I just really talk about because it's so important.
The name of the product that she has is Juice Plus, and the name of the book is Finding Fitness After 50. We're going to talk about that a little later, but we're going to start from the beginning. Tell them where you were born, siblings, school, and that nature, what you used to like to do when you was younger, and things like that.
Okay. Well, I was born in St. Louis, Missouri, and lived in St. Louis and then moved to East St. Louis. So I stayed there for the first, well, from birth to about 11 years. And by the age of 11, we moved back to Memphis. My father got transferred back here, and well, he became the first African American foreman for the Light Gas and Water Company. So in my childhood, it was great. I mean, I just always remember food. I always remember having my little allowance money and going up to the candy lady house. You know, everybody has a candy lady in the neighborhood. So food just became a friend of mine at an early age. I have a brother and two sisters, and we just all grew up, you know, our parents, and just lived, I guess, pretty much close to American life. You know, we lived in houses most of the time, and with the fence, and with the dog, and had a few rabbits and goldfish for pets. So it was a very good life, and you know, everybody said they don't know, really remember how, if they're poor or whatever. So, you know, we never experienced that. But now that I think back, I know that there was struggles. You know, we were not necessarily on government assistance, but we got some of the government food, like that good government cheese that everybody mix, fix those cheese toasts with. So I remember getting that as a child and all that. So. But for the most part, it was a happy life. It was a life involved around a lot of food, a lot of cooking on both my grandparents. Both of them were just great cooks, so I can just remember always having good food to eat when I was around them. Mm-hmm. And but growing up as an adult, you know, when you're told as a child to eat all the food on your plate, whether you're hungry or not, I believe that kind of sticks in a lot of our subconsciousness. And when we become adults, we are already programmed to eat everything on our plate, whether we want it or not. And that, for some of us, that can develop into a bad habit of just overeating.
St. Louis, you remember some days back in St. Louis when you were younger?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember a few things. You know, of course, being in that childhood status, you know, you don't really just retain a lot of information as you would if you were an adult, I think. But of course, I remember, you know, the schools I went to. I went to Catholic schools back then, and So we went to had mass every morning of school and communion and things like that, and then I still keep in contact with a couple of friends that I went to school with. We stay in contact to this day. And I go back, I try to go back maybe like every 5 years or so and just ride down my old street and see who I can see. And but a lot has changed, but of course, a lot of things are the same.
Okay, yeah. You say your grandparents, your grandmother did a lot of cooking. Did you pick up those cooking habits? Can you cook?
I can cook some things. I can't cook like them. I'm one of those, what you call, need a recipe type cook. So I have to have my recipe as opposed to them back in their days. They just throw some stuff together. They don't measure anything. They just put it all together and it just tastes wonderful. So I'm not quite that good yet. I'm perfecting my veggie stir fry. I've become pretty good with that over the last year or two. And where I just kind of try things and don't measure it. But as far as all the home type cooking with all the gravies and all that type of stuff, I hadn't got to that point yet.
Okay, yeah. I was doing an interview with a young lady named Miss Jasmine Carter, and I brought up the fact that I think that cooking is becoming a dying art. Do you think a lot of women don't cook nowadays and just focus on fast food and microwave food? You know?
Right. I'm thinking it's a combination. I think it all depends on, of course, the woman's mindset and where she is in her healthy lifestyle or just eating habits. Even when I was overweight, greatly overweight. I'm still considered overweight now, but let's just say when I weighed over 300 pounds, I still used to eat healthy. I just ate too much. I just ate all day. I snacked too much. I drank a lot of soft drinks and juices and things like that. So I'm fortunate enough I never contracted any type of illnesses from, the main illnesses that's directly linked with overweight and everything, like diabetes and high blood pressure, cholesterol issues. I never had anything like that. So I knew I had to be eating healthy. I just ate too much. And but back to the cooking question, I just think it really depends on the person's lifestyle. Fast food is just so convenient now, and with women and men having to work 1 or 2 jobs, just cooking it kind of gets put to the back burner. But at the same time, I still know a lot of women that still work and go home and cook because they don't want to fall into that fast food trap. And it's easy to do, but it's so bad for you. Everybody knows, well, most people should know that fast food is just really not good. It's just high fat, low nutrients, but it's convenient. So we fall into that trap of getting into that regimen really unconsciously. But I think there's a lot of desire out there now. I think since we've been thrown into this pandemic issue, and this is still looming, I think over the past 3 years, a lot of people have really done a lot of shifting when it comes to their nutrition now. Because people, I think, are becoming more and more aware of how important it is to be healthy, not just for your everyday living, but just for your longevity of life. And being healthy now is such a contributing factor to be able to survive through these past 2 or 3 years. And it's not to say that everybody who survived is healthy. No, because we've had people that have passed from COVID or whatever over the past 2 or 3 years that were considered healthy. So it's not like you become exempt just because you're healthy, but I believe it still puts you in a better position to be able to survive, because being overweight was one of the contributing factors that was leading to COVID deaths, so to say. So, of course, that got my attention real quick, in addition to heart problems and diabetics. All those people that had those illnesses were such at a high risk of not being able to survive COVID as opposed to a person that wasn't. So I just think due to that and just due to so many people dying, period, during these past 2 to 3 years, people are becoming more conscious about what they eat and their contents of their food, which in turn makes people want to go to the store, buy their goods, and cook at home, which presents another whole challenge because now food is not even grown the way it used to be grown.
Right. Yeah, I was about to get to that.
Yeah, so now it's like we just have this constant uphill battle that we have to fight. It's like the system is not set up for us to be healthy for some reason. It's set up
for money.
For money. And that's what I tell a lot of people when I start talking about Juice Plus and the benefits of Juice Plus to people. They want to shun me off because it's like they think I'm just trying to sell them something. And then, but I tell them, I say, yeah, but when a new fast food restaurant open or if another chicken wing spot opens up the street from you, you will stand in line to get in there.
That line gonna be wrapped around the corner.
Right. So aren't they trying to sell you something as well? So it's really your mindset and where you are as far as your nutrition and your willingness to put into it. And I just always tell people about me. You know, that's why when people shun me off and don't want to hear it, I get it because I used to be that person. You know, I used to be that person that didn't want to hear anything about, oh, you got to do this and do that to be healthy because I just didn't think I'd ever have a problem with it. But until you really put yourself in that situation or get in that situation, then you can see it clearly now. And it's not like a person trying to sell you something. You know, I'm trying to offer you an opportunity to live a better quality life. And if it's not with Juice Plus, it needs to be with something.
Okay. Know. Juice Plus was a part of your weight loss journey?
No, Juice Plus now is a continuing regimen that I'm on now because I just became a Juice Plus partner a little over a year ago. So, but I lost the majority of my weight pretty much 5 years ago.
What did you do?
I've maintained an 85-pound weight loss for the past 5 years. And pretty much my mindset, you know, I just had to change my relationship with food. I had to change the way I thought about food, and I had to change the way that, well, just my whole thought process around it. You know, instead of me thinking I needed food to live or I needed this food to enable me to do something, it's just the opposite. I need life first. You know, because the foods that we eat, we really do become what we eat, so to say. And when you eat a lot of fried foods and fast foods and soft drinks and things like that, you're putting so much toxins in your body subconsciously. And that's what I was just so unaware of. I was just so unaware of my caloric intake and just how many calories that I really need to just survive. And I was just, after I really sat down and really started researching it and analyzing the foods that I was eating maybe like 3 or 4 times the amount of calories I needed to just to function with. Yeah. Wow. And it was so unconscious. It was just such an unconscious thing. And I tell people all the time that whatever issue or whatever problem that you're having, you have to bring it to a conscious level first in order for you to deal with it. Because if you don't see a problem, then you won't think it's a problem. And so there's no way that you can correct it if you don't see it. And that's what a lot of addictive personalities come from, because a person can't see that they have a problem. It's just like trying to talk to your uncle about this drinking habit, or, you know, talking to your cousin about whatever drugs that they may be in. If they don't see they have a problem, then they're not going to correct it.
Right. So what are some of the foods that you ate though? Like,
I ate healthy, but I just ate so much.
What's healthy?
And some of the, as far as healthier eating, healthy eating to me is clean eating. And when I say clean eating, it's mean eating food in its original state as close as possible. So that means you're eating it raw or you're eating it baked, sauteed, things like that.
Because animals out there in the wild don't eat cooked food.
Right.
The grass they're eating is alive and fresh.
Right. Yep.
I get it.
And so I'm not vegan yet, and I'm not even a vegetarian yet, but I'm leaning more toward a plant-based diet. You know, I eat very little meat, period, but I still eat meat. So what I just had to do, I just made a total reduction of everything I used to eat. I didn't really cut out anything. I just cut it down to a very low percentage. And now some days I go without eating meat. I may go 3 days without eating meat. But the soft drinks and the juices and the ice cream, those were my biggest downfall. So I had to stop buying those all the way. So I just stopped on those for a minute. From time to time, I'll still drink a soft drink, but I have to water it down because I can't take the sugar like I used to. So, so to answer your direct question, it was just that I just constantly ate for some reason. It's like I just always have, even though I eat a full course meal, I'll be full. About 30 minutes later, I want something to snack on. Say, whether it's chips or cookies or just anything. Just, I've always had the money to buy it, and I just always just thought that I just needed something to snack on. So now I snack on fruit, fresh fruit, raw vegetables, and I'm satisfied with that. And mainly because my mindset has changed.
Just don't really know where to get real organic fruit from, though, or non-genetically modified foods. Or like where a lot of people will tell you that it's organic, and you get it and you find out, hey, it's really not organic. So it's really kind of hard to trust things these days.
Right, it is, and it's so costly. I mean, Whole Foods is one of my favorite places to go, but it's so expensive to shop there on a regular basis. And but at this point right now, I'm not really tied into organic and non-organic. Right now, I'm just trying to get into a routine and into a mindset where I can be content with just being without the things that's not good for me right now, like the fried foods, the fast foods, the processed foods. So what I mean by processed foods is the hot dogs, the sausages that you buy, and anything that's processed. Just the word process will let you know that it's a multitude of things that's combined to make this one product. So when you think about sausage and cold cuts, all the bologna and salami, all those types of things, they're processed. And they're just not good for you. They just have a lot of different fillers in it that your body really can't process. So anything that you put into your mouth and you digest it, if your body can't recognize it or break it down to nutrients, then it's just going to store it as fat. And if you don't have a good elimination process going on or digestive process going on, a lot of that will just be stored in your intestines, and it causes a lot of other issues later on in life, and or really early in life. But when we get past like 75, 80, like my dad is almost 90 years old now, and he's just now coming down with a lot of illnesses like gout and neuropathy and things like that. And a lot of those illnesses come from a long-term buildup of what we've eaten. A lot of processed foods and red meats and things like that. It's just really extremely hard for our bodies, our digestive system, to break all that stuff down. And that's why back in the biblical days and just back when our grandparents were children, of course the foods was grown different, grown better. They pretty much grew everything that they ate. And just the preparation and all the hormones and pesticides and stuff that's being used now wasn't used back then. Or if it was just different. And now it's just, we just have so much our bodies have so much to fight off. And not just what we intake as food, but it's just our whole surroundings, our whole environment. The air that we breathe and all of that has so much in it that our bodies are just constantly at this constant battle of fighting off illnesses that we could have gotten. And that's why, I don't mean to get off on a rant about this virus, but when this pandemic came back in late 19, it was just the perfect example of how, to me, it was just this environmental thing that's going on with all the contraction. It just led back to the old adage of only the strong will survive, to me, in my case. And there was a lot of people that we thought that were healthy that still passed from this. And I just think that was God's way of letting us know that, hey, nobody's exempt. even though it may be a target group of people that's falling prey to this, but still nobody's exempt from it. So this brings me back to just my whole way of thinking about food and everything like that. Sure, I eat a hot dog every now and then. I mean, I eat a bologna sandwich every now and then, but don't make that a consistent everyday routine to your diet. You know, give yourself some time when you eat food like that so you can flush your system out, you know, drink your water, stay away from the soft drinks and the juices so that your body can have a chance to cleanse and repair itself. And in my book, I talk about intermittent fasting, and between intermittent fasting and smaller food portions, that is what gave me the success that I achieved in my weight loss journey. Because when you intermittent fast, you give your body, well, I give my body 12 to 14 hours straight of no solid foods. I only drink liquids. I take my Juice Plus. Prior to Juice Plus, I was just eating maybe piece of fruit, or maybe a small cheese peanut butter cracker if I just wanted something. You know, carbs are good. They have their place because they give you that burst of energy that you need. It's just that we just eat too much. You know,
people don't eat in moderation.
Yeah,
just
in America, we eat a lot. We waste a lot of food. I mean, you can go to other countries, you know, and they don't even eat a fraction of the food that we eat.
It's a lot of stuff in that's banned in other countries that we use here.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's that's my next. I'm gonna do more research on that for my next book about things that are just Americans eat, or just in the United States, period, that, like you said, is banned in other countries based on the nutritional levels and everything. And you just ask yourself, well, why is it even allowed? Money. And what we have to realize is that the FDA, when they approve certain things, it only has to be up to a certain level of toxicity in order for them to say, no, it's not good. So in other words, you can put something on the shelf that's not going to kill you tomorrow, but if you eat it every day, it's going to kill you. That's really what it boils down to.
Wow.
So it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of items now that's on the shelf that really shouldn't be, because of the amount of fillers that's in it, the amount of high fructose corn syrup and all that type of items. And there's so many different forms of sugar that's used to put in things. And if you don't read those food labels, or if you're not aware of it, you just won't know. All during my weight loss journey, I never ate the diet stuff. No diet drinks, no, you know, some things I may have done low fat in, but as far as the word diet, it's a direct turnoff for me. But that's $1 billion business. You know, people are hooked on these Diet Cokes and Diet Pepsis and anything diet. But those type products have additives in them. If anybody would just research it, those products have additives in it that actually contribute to weight gain. It's crazy, but it really is. And it's, I can't think of the proper word, but just to break it down where you can understand it, it's sort of like when you ingest a product and it blocks certain things, like certain products is out here now people take to, let's say they want to lose weight. That's all they want to do is lose weight. They're not thinking about being healthy or anything. They just think about lose weight. So they take these products, and these products actually block fat. Okay? So to me, if you would just stop and think for a minute, if you're going to take something and put something in your system that's going to block something, then that means whatever you're blocking is still in your system.
Oh.
Okay? So now you have this barrier that you're setting up in your system to block something. Okay, but what does that barrier consist of? See, so now you're putting more things into your body. You're trying to lose weight, but you're putting something else into your body to block something that's going to cause you another problem down the road. So you got to consider your liver. Your liver has to filter out all this stuff. Your kidneys have to work to filter out. So even though you may lose some weight, or you may be successful with your weight loss, but after that, you got some internal organ issues now you got to deal with.
Okay, I got you.
Which can cause so many other problems. So I just decided to take the route that I was going to still eat the foods I normally eat. I was still going to eat them pretty much the same way I had been eating them, even though I had cut back on a lot of fried foods and fast foods and processed foods. The foods that I still ate them the regular way, but I just ate less of it. That's all I did. And I incorporated a workout routine where I exercise 3 to 4 days a week, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. And I really built myself up to an hour 15 minutes. That's when I was at the optimum weight loss time. So that's what I just recommend anybody that's really trying to lose weight to really do that hour.
Miss Maxwell, these women these days are microwave. They want it quick. They go into that knife.
I know.
Surgery.
I know.
What you think about that?
I just don't recommend it. I just have a couple of friends. One has had the stomach stapling, I believe, and the other one had the gastric bypass, and they're miserable right now. And even though, I mean, one person, she weighed, I know, probably over 400 pounds. So she's like, I think she lost like 150, 175 pounds. It's a lot of weight. But she can't eat, she gets sick if she eat a certain amount of food. And it could be just vegetables. And she's just like, her stomach just can't hold it. Just the food processing of it, the digestive system. I mean, it just has so many negative effects to it. So I just don't know, if it's not life-threatening for you to have those surgeries, then I just wouldn't recommend it, because to me, you're going to be having a whole new set of issues, a whole new set of problems that you're going to have to deal with that's just as bad as being overweight. So,
okay, I got you. Well, we're going to show the people Juice Plus.
Yes, this is the main product line for Juice Plus. And it comes in 4 blends here. We have the fruit blend, you have a veggie blend, you have a berry blend, and then the omega blend. And the great thing about Juice Plus is that it's all whole food, plant-based nutrients. It's strictly nutrients. It's not vitamins, it's not a multivitamin or anything like that. What Juice Plus does is actually bridges the gap between what we eat and what we should eat. Okay, so a lot of people say, well, I eat fruits and vegetables. Yeah, but do you eat apples and cherries and pineapples and prunes every day? No. Do you eat spinach and cabbage and broccoli and all those items every day? And even if you do eat it every day, are you eating enough? And see, that's the main problem that we struggle with here in America, at least, is that we may eat the vegetables, but we don't eat the number of portions that we should eat to give ourselves the nutrition that we need. So what this does is bridges the gap between that. So in addition to eating properly and eating whole and clean foods, it's good to have a plant-based supplement. And we get our fruits and veggies and omegas and all that strictly from the algae itself, the plants itself. We have, Juice Plus has this specific farmers that farm all of our fruits and vegetables, so they pick them at their ripest stage. If you go to my website, you can see the whole process of how the supplements are made and how the fruit is, vacuumed and all the liquids are extracted from it, and it's made into a powdered form and put into a capsule. And so that makes everything at its freshest state. So when you ingest it, your body is just ingesting proper natural nutrition. There's nothing that your body has to even try to recognize or decipher, because it's the same nutrients that you would receive if you ate these items. And the good thing about the berry blend that I really recommend, especially during this time, because it has the elderberry in it, which is a very good antioxidant during this pandemic season that we're in right now, and it gives you the raspberries, the blueberries, and everybody knows that's often to fruit and berries, know how high in antioxidants and nutrients that the berry family, just a combination. Anytime I give an event, I always have a berry blend, which is usually strawberries, blueberries, and blackberries, because they are just so powerful in keeping our bodies up to par and keeping your immune system strong, so that when you do have all these invaders and toxins in your body, then these nutrients can flush that out for you. And another good thing is this omega blend. This omega blend comes straight from the algae. A lot of people take fish oil pills and things like that, but it gives you that fishy taste. But you don't experience that with the Juice Plus products because it's plant-based, and by it coming straight from the algae, you don't have the fishy taste. But it also has other blends in it, like the pomegranate, and it has the tomato seed oil, and it also has raspberry seed oils. So there's other combinations of things in here besides the omegas. And not only is it just one omega, most people just take omega 3s or 5s, but this has all 5 omegas in this blend, which is really good. My dad just started taking Juice Plus about a year ago as me, and he has really experienced some relief from his neuropathy and his joint pain and things like that, and then, of course, the heart issues. It's really good for. And this right here, these bags here, this is the same thing except it's in a gummy form.
Kind of turn it around so they can see it on camera. Have it facing that way when you pull it out. Yeah. So you can see it on camera. Yeah.
So these are the 4 blends again that you can put those back here. But this is the veggie blend and also the fruit blend. So it's the exact same as the fruit and veggie capsules, but we have them in gummy forms, which is real good for children. Children, it's Juice Plus does a child study, where they monitor children that take Juice Plus on how they are much better as far as their focus in school. They sleep better. Their immune system is stronger, which means they don't get as many colds and all the germ system that they get when they start integrating into when they start preschool or daycare, whatever. Their just immune system is stronger, so it helps the parents out. Less time you have to take off work, taking them to the doctor. And then, of course, just overall being healthy. And then, of course, adults like them as well, because some adults don't like capsules or have a problem swallowing capsules. So the gummies can work out for adults as well as children. And also keep in mind, any adult that places an order for at least a fruit and veggie blend of capsules, then they can get a child studies for free. Absolutely free with Juice Plus. As long as the adult order is placed, you can get your child's study for free. And then we have the protein shakes, which are called Complete Plus. We have them now in the chocolate and the vanilla. And it offers you 14 grams of protein in every item, every shake that you make. And I've incorporated this into my lifestyle now. I usually drink 1 to 2 of these per day, and I just eat one decent meal, or sometimes I just make just one a day. It just really depends. And but this is like a meal replacement. It gives you all your vitamins and nutrients that you would need to start your day, and it just tastes great. And so I just recommend, if anybody wants to get on some type of regimen where they can have some consistency and see some results, just replacing 1 or 2 meals a day with a liquid form of nutrition is just always a win-win, because it gives your internal organs a time to rest, where they don't have to just be challenging with food and breaking down foods and things like that. It's just an overall, that's why they call it complete, because it can completely change the way you feel. It completely changes the way your body digests foods, and it just helps with the whole elimination process and all of that. So just these products working together. We also have bars, like protein bars, you can also purchase as well. And then we also have a complete a protein shake that has more protein, and it has like 25 grams. I don't have that bag right now, but it's that particular protein shake is being used by athletes in the when they go to train for the Olympics and Olympic Games. All of them have now contracted with Juice Plus to be on that particular protein shake. And many people already know that Juice Plus is a proud sponsor for the St. Jude Marathon. They've been the sponsor for the St. Jude Marathon for the past 20 years. So that's what all the runners take. They have the Juice Plus on site, so if they want to take the gummies or capsules or whatever it is, but it's just a sponsor for that. And if anybody knows St. Jude, they research every company and everything really thoroughly. And with all of the studies that we've done on the products, all of our studies are done on humans. So, and the child study, they follow the children from birth all the way to graduation, where they can see it's a proven record with the how beneficial having a proper nutrition can correlate to your education and your focus and your concentration. So it's just a win-win, After 4 months, our body generates new cells, and that's why Juice Plus recommends you, if you try the product, to stay on it for at least 4 months. And that way your body can regenerate new healthy cells. And once your body starts generating new healthy cells, then it will start healing itself. And so many people that I've just met from the year and a half that I've been affiliated with the company, how they've gotten off all this medication that they used to take. Lupus and rheumatoid arthritis and migraine headaches and things like that. People have just been relieved from all of those illnesses, and it's directly linked to your nutrition.
Okay, so a few questions. Where can they purchase the product? On your website?
Yes, they have to go directly to my website. Juice Plus is not sold in any stores, or it's not sold on television. They just started doing ads. But still, if they do an ad on television, they're going to revert you back to contacting a Juice Plus representative. And so my website is Maxwell3. That's Maxwell and the number 3, .juiceplus.com.
Okay, now, my people, they're going to want to know, how much does this cost?
Well, let me put it like this. It will cost you less than what you would spend on your diabetic medicine, okay? It's going to cost less than your high blood pressure pills that you're purchasing. But to make a long story short, like the fruits and the veggies, they have to be purchased together. They're always sold in a group. So the fruit and veggie capsules or the gummies, you can get these for a 4-month supply. It's going to run you about $65 a month for both of them. Okay. And you can pay all at one time, or you can pay into 4 increments. Juice Plus allows you that. No extra charge, no finance charge, anything. You just simply, when you place your order, you'll just only pay 25% of your order. And what
like that now.
Yeah, and what they'll do, they'll ship out your whole 4 months order to you, and then you'll be billed in 3 months on that same day that you place your order. So it's very affordable. Now the berry blend, you can purchase it by itself. It's only probably about $30 a month, and but these bottles, they come in 120 capsules, so that's 2 months. So if you order, you'll get 2 bottles of each, because each bottle's for 2 months. And then you can also order the Omega separately as well, and they're about $35 a month. So to me, it's very affordable. I've done a lot of shopping. I've stopped at a lot of the health food nutrition shops, and I mean, you'll spend $40, $50 a month just on a 1 month supply of something, depending on what it is. But with this, I mean, it's as low as $30 a month, and it's plant-based. It's all whole foods. It's not any additives or all the other stuff that they put in the multivitamins and things. You just won't find that in the Juice Plus products.
Okay, now they can want to know, I heard you say it, but does it actually work? Does it work?
Well, put it like this. Like they say, anything will work if you do it. Anything, you'll get results, in other words, from anything that you do on a regular basis, whether it's good or bad. Okay. So if you just think about an entity like this or a product like this that's going to offer your body the proper nutrition that it needs and the proper just overall nutrition and that you would get if you ate properly. See, that's the problem. We don't eat properly. So nobody can sit here and tell me that they eat 9 to 12 servings of vegetables a day, And if you do eat it that day, do you eat it every day of your life? And that's where we fall short. So does it work? Sure, it works. What it has done for me is that it has I guess how they say when you have your palate changed, what you have a taste for, your desire for certain foods will just dissipate. So me craving those Snicker bars and those Cheetos like I used to, and craving the soft drinks and the juices and all that, I just don't have a craving for it anymore. I can go days and weeks without eating it. And that's something I used to eat every day of my life, And so that's what it does. So when you give your body the proper nutrition, that's what it's going to crave, in other words. So I go out of my way now to buy a veggie plate as opposed to pulling up at a Burger King, because it's convenient and because it's there and it's ready. I'll go out of my way to get that. And I buy 3 or 4 veggie plates at one time, and I'll just split it up, divide it up, put it into my small containers, and I put it in my freezer, and I just take them out as I would when I get ready to go for my lunch, for work, or whatever. And that just become my lifestyle, and it's just a whole mindset transition. Because first of all, nothing is going to work for you if you don't want it to work, or if you're not willing to give it a chance to work. And that's where many of us fall short, is that we want something right now. We want everything to be put in the microwave, but we have to understand some things have to be put in the oven on 350. You see? But we want to press that microwave. We want to do that little 30-second button there, and we want it to be ready. And but that's not the way it goes with your health and with your fitness and your wellness, because it takes a chance for your body to regroup. And if anybody, let me talk to the plant people that grow plants, okay? I'm a plant grower. And every now and then you have to prune your plant. So what do I mean by that? You have to tear off all those dead leaves and stuff. And you have to shake up that soil a little bit. You may have to take your plant out and just kind of loosen up those roots a little bit and repot it, because we get to a point where your plant gets to a point where the roots just become a little stagnated because of the soil gets so tight that the root can't go through. And then you start having these dead leaves. And what is something dead? What is something dead? What purpose does something dead have being attached to something that's alive? It's only going to drain you. And it doesn't serve a purpose. So therefore, we have to prune our plants. And once we prune that plant and work that soil around some, that plant just flourishes and blooms. As opposed to, if you don't do it, then it's the deadness of the plant is going to take over the life of the plant. So that's the way our bodies work as well. If we keep giving our bodies this toxins and all of this grease and all of this high fructose corn syrup and all these things, our bodies is constantly trying to purge this stuff out of our system. But when we constantly eat it, it just becomes overwhelming. It's be too much. So that's why people have liver problems and kidney problems and gallstones and things like that, because it's a buildup. And it's not something that's going to get you right then. Like the FDA approves all these canned goods and all this stuff to sit on these shelves, and and it don't kill us right now, but over a period of time, it will cause all kind of issues. So by taking Juice Plus, it actually acts as several things. It detoxifies your body. It cleanses you out. People go like, I've taken this and I stay in the restroom, blah, 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 blah. And I go like, well, that's a good thing. Because now you realize what you've been walking around with. Some people go 2 or 3 days without. And I'm going
I don't see how.
Yeah. So you mean to tell me you go 2 or 3 days without having a bowel movement, and you wonder, well, where's all this food going that you're eating? So it's just staying in you somewhere. It's in your intestines. It's in your, digestive tract. So where is it? So when they start taking nutritional supplements and they get that movement and that elimination, they go like, wow, and that's what happens. And so when you start on a regimen like this, you'll be detoxifying yourself. You'll be giving your organs the time to replenish, to cleanse, and then that's when your new cells can start developing. And once your new cells start developing, that just affects your overall, nutritional level.
I got you. Okay, let's talk about your book, Finding Fitness After 50.
Right.
What made you write this?
Well, it's when Well, actually, I had entered my 50s, and that's when I really, really started looking at myself, and between the ages of, I guess when I turned 40. 40 was such a pivotal year for me because I gave birth to my one and only child at 40 years old, and everybody was going like, "What? You having a baby?" Blah, 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 blah. I'm going like, "Yeah, if he took care of Sarah, he'll take care of me." Okay, so we wasn't worried about that. But 40 was such a pivotal year, and but between the ages of 40 and 50, that's when I gained like 100 pounds during that time span. And all during that 10-year period, I was telling myself, "Oh, I'm in control. I can stop eating this when I get ready, or I can do this and do that." But I realized I couldn't, and I was just out of control. And of course, other issues that was a contributing factor to that led me to overeating. And I just found my refuge in food. Some people start drinking, some people start smoking, some people start gambling. Well, I just found my refuge in food. And so when I turned 50, it really just surfaced. I had a 10-year-old daughter that was active and wanting to be, participating in different things in school and everything. And she loves the arts, performing arts. And I just know one day I went to see one of her performances at the age, I think I was 50, something like that, 51. And I could barely fit in the chair. And those theater chairs or auditorium chairs seem like for some reason they just make them smaller than other types of chairs. And it was just such an embarrassing moment for me. I mean, nobody else noticed it, but I did. And then just sitting there all cramped up and trying to keep your arms together because you don't want to, protrude on somebody else's space. And that was just a turning point for me when I turned 50. So I just really started looking at myself and looking at my attitude and my relationship with food and how I just ate for every type of emotion. I ate when I was happy, ate when I was sad, ate at the baby shower, ate at the birthday party. And it was just so much eating. And food is such a way that we celebrate everything. And so I had to realize that I couldn't change the way everybody else was thinking about food, or I can't stop people from offering food to me. So what I had to do was just work on myself so that I could be strong enough to say, no, thank you. I don't want that extra cookie, or I don't want that extra biscuit that you're offering me, or whatever. So I just had to come to a point where I had to change the way I thought about food and felt about food. And so that's pretty much what it did. And then, of course, weighing right at 300 pounds didn't help either. So by the time I got myself together to even start going backwards, I had gained another 20 pounds. So, and it wasn't until then, and I just really, really realized that, and then when I just refused to buy the next size larger clothes, I just decided that I'm either going to have to wear these clothes that I was busting out of, or I had to make another choice. So I just chose to choose life. I started reading and researching on just the different contributing factors that being overweight can cause, and then just personally, just looking at my life, not being able to fit into a chair, getting on the airplane, having to have a seatbelt extender in order for me to buckle my seatbelt up and things like that. And it was just those lot of little bitty things that just kind of led me up to making the decision. And but what ultimately I think put me on the right path is that I just surrendered to God for it. I just realized that I couldn't do it on my own, and I just felt that nobody here on earth can really help me. For some reason, I just felt that I just needed some type of divine intervention in my life. And so I just started praying, and I just repented, and I just asked God to forgive me for trying to figure this out on my own, because I had shown myself for the last 10 years what I was doing wasn't working, because I had gained all this weight over this period of time. And I couldn't blame it on having a baby, because I lost all of my weight after I had the baby. 45 pounds, lost that, even lost 10 more. And but after I went back to work and started dealing with them demons on my job, and being a new mom and dealing with a marriage and all of that, it was just overwhelming. So I gained all that weight back in a relatively short period of time, and then plus a few more pounds. So it's just really about your mindset. I had put it off, and it wasn't the fact that I didn't have access to things. I mean, the job that I have paid for us to go to a gym to work out. They would reimburse us, so it wasn't going to cost me anything. One of the jobs I had, it had a workout facility on site where you can go and exercise before you start work. But did you think we took advantage of that? They ended up closing that up because employees were not using it. And I think back on that now, I'm going like, wow, that was my perfect opportunity to get myself back in shape at no charge, right there where I work. So that just goes to show you that you can have everything in front of you and all of this equipment, but if your mindset is not there, it doesn't even matter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So let the people know where they can get the book from, how they can get the book.
Yeah, well, they can purchase the book on Amazon. It's available on Amazon, and or either you can contact me directly. You can contact me. My phone number is 901-486-6496. I can meet you, or I can mail it to you, or my direct email is fitness, the word fitness, the number 4, me, the number 17 at yahoo.com. So that's fitness for me 17 at yahoo.com. So you can send me an email or either call me and we can make arrangements. I love to speak at different events that people have, whether it's Women's Day or just anything involving health and wellness. I'm just all for that. And just keep in mind, I'm choosing physical health because that's what I'm dealing with, but I like to embrace all types of health. Financial health, mental health, spiritual health, all of this, because you can be in the best shape, physical shape that you can be in. But if you have $100,000 worth of credit card debt, then you're stressed out because you're trying to figure out how to pay all these bills and you're going back and forth trying to work another job. Therefore, that's going to increase your cortisol level. It's a hormone in your body that works totally against you trying to be healthy and lose weight. So therefore you're in this constant struggle because you're stressed about that. So you're really not healthy if you're in a bad financial state, or you're really not healthy if you're in a bad physical state. So it all works together. It's all intertwined. And that's what we have to realize, that we have to find that balance in life in order to say that we're really healthy. And just want to put that out there.
Okay, well, yeah. Y'all make sure y'all go purchase that book, Finding Fitness After 50. I don't know why I keep saying it, messing up. But yeah, it's on Amazon. Y'all make sure y'all go get it. Juice Plus. She said the Juice Plus. How can you? What's the website for Juice Plus?
It's Maxwell 3. That's the number 3. .juiceplus.com.
That's Maxwell3.juiceplus.com. All right, we got Miss Patricia Maxwell. Any closing thoughts before we get off here?
I just like everybody to realize that their health is their wealth. Being in good health and being in just striving to do better. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. So just making that first step, just taking one bad thing out of your food regimen, whether you want to start with the liquids. Like I started with the Kool-Aid and the soft drinks and the juices. I just started that and just started drinking my alkaline water. And I lost my first 25 pounds just from that alone. And then start on your next thing, your fried foods, your fast foods, your processed foods. Just kind of take things one challenge at a time, because it can get overwhelming. So if you just take one step at a time, just one focus at a time, conquer that or get that to a controllable level, then move to the next thing. And before you know it, you'll have it where you're in this routine, you'll be craving better foods, and the weight will come off, and you can achieve your optimum health.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Miss Patricia Maxwell, Finding Fitness After 50. And make sure you get that Juice Plus. You can be on the website at Maxwell3.juiceplus.com. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
J-Lane. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.